Good morning.
Morning, wildlife.
How are you?
Well? So today we've got another one of Jesus' saying, which is,
I am the resurrection and the life.
I am the resurrection and the life. That's what Jesus said, and we're going to look at that today.
See you soon.
God, you made our big blue sky. You made the oceans deep and wide. God, you made the trees so tall. Your love is bigger than it all. God, you're bigger than big, stronger than strong. You are mightier than mighty, and louder than this song. Your love for me stretches farther than far. I can't imagine just how big you are, just how big you are. God, you made our big blue sky. You made the oceans deep and wide. God, you made the trees so tall. Your love is bigger than it all. God, you're bigger than big, stronger than strong. You are mightier than mighty, and louder than this song. Your love for me stretches farther than far. I can't imagine just how big you are, just how big you are. God, you're bigger than big, stronger than strong. You are mightier than mighty, louder than the song. Your love for me stretches farther than far. And I can't imagine just how big you are, just how big you are.
Got two resurrection stories today where two actual dead people come back to life, and for that we've got two wonderful ways of telling this story. We've got a lovely bit of theatre for you guys, and we've also got some lovely reading of it, so tune in. It's going to be a lovely story time.
My name's Camilla and I am 11 years old. I like reading and I will be playing Jairus. Hi, my name is Hector. I am 9 years old. I really enjoy Keepy Uppies. My record is 25 and I will be playing Jesus.
Hello, I'm Harriet. I like dogs and I will be playing
Jairus' daughter
and the old woman.
There once was a little girl who didn't get out of bed one morning, or the next, or the next. In fact, she didn't get out of bed for a whole month. She was very sick, and no one knew how to make her better. Jairus was her daddy, and he loved her. One day he was sitting by her bed, holding her hand, wishing there was something he could.
I know!
He jumped to his feet. Jairus kissed his daughter and then ran out of his house, down the steps, ran into the temple and fought his way through all the different people.
Sorry, sir. Excuse me, madam.
Until at last he found who he was looking for.
Jesus!
Feet.
Please, my daughter.
But he didn't need to beg, because before he'd even finished speaking, Jesus reached out his hand and helped him up.
I'll come right away.
Jesus said. Jairus' eyes filled with tears because Jesus was coming. It would be all right. But in those days, they didn't have ambulances, so they had to go by foot. Jesus' helpers knew that he would heal the sick girl, but they must hurry. If they didn't get there soon, it would be too late. Hustling and bustling,
Make way for
jostling and
Jesus.
pushing, shoving and squashing
Make
and
way for
swishing.
Jesus.
The disciples ran ahead, forcing back the crowd. Suddenly, Jesus stopped.
Who touched me?
Me came from a little, frail old lady. She was looking down at the ground because she was ashamed. She'd been sick for 12 years. And she knew that if she only touched Jesus' coat, she'd be healed. And she was. As soon as she touched his coat, she felt instantly well. "We don't have time," Jesus' friend said. But Jesus always had time. He reached out his hand and gently lifted her head. He looked into her eyes and smiled and said,
You believed, so now you are well.
Jairus, and said, "Jairus, it's too late. Your daughter is dead."
No! It's not too late. Trust me.
Everyone was crying. But Jesus said,
I'm going to wake her up.
Jesus walked into the little girl's bedroom, and there she was in the corner, very pale. Jesus sat on her bed and took her hand and said,
Honey, it's time.
He reached into death and brought the little girl back to life. The little girl woke up and rubbed her eyes as if she just had a big sleep. So Jesus asked her,
Hungry?
and she nodded.
Go get the little girl some breakfast.
Jesus helped many people like this. He made blind people see, and he made deaf people hear. He made lame people walk.
Yay!
Jesus was mending the sad things of this world to come untrue. He was mending God's broken world. Harriet, which part of the story did you enjoy the most?
I like the bit where I get to eat breakfast in bed.
Hector, which part of the story do you think is the most important?
When Jesus heals Jairus' daughter.
And Camilla, what do you think the story tells us about Jesus?
I think it tells us that Jesus can do impossible things no matter what, and he has time for everyone.
What I really like about the story is that Jairus had the courage to ask Jesus for help. Even though the chances are really slim that Jesus would get there on time and that he was even going to listen to Jairus, he still went for Jesus and asked Jesus for help. I really like that.
I also really like that Jesus wasn't too late, and although they were already dead, Jesus had his own perfect time in coming and saving things.
So Jesus is never late, he's always on time.
Hi, I've got a challenge for you. Can you pretend to be the little girl lying in bed and getting up without your arms? Let's see if anyone else in my family can do it. Now let's see if Daddy can do it. And now we'll try see if Hector can. Let's see if Mummy can do For an extra challenge, can you try do it using your arms but without bending your legs? I'll try. Let's see if any other members of the family can do it. And now we're going to see if Mummy can do it.
we've got some really good fun facts. Did you know that your ears never stop growing?
Whoa, is that why old people have big ears?
Yeah.
Sorry. Did you also know that the only muscle that never tires is the heart?
Did you know that your skin renews itself about once a month? So over a lifetime, you've got about 1,000 new skins.
What? Did you also know that spread across their lifetime, most people spend an average of 1 whole year sat on the toilet?
Speak for yourself.
Ooh, okay. Bit
Now,
longer,
Yvonne,
maybe.
did you know that your nose can detect about 1 trillion different smells?
I didn't know that. I can't even think of 1 trillion things to smell. But did you know that?
How many zeros have got 1 trillion? Got
I don't know.
too many. Anyway.
Not as many hours as I should have spent paying attention to maths. Did you know that the foot is the most ticklish part of the body?
I think that's true.
I don't want anyone to know that now.
So here's the challenge for today. It's about having God confidence. It's really important to have confidence in yourself, to know that you can do things and that you can take on challenges, but it's even better to have God confidence. And Bear Grylls talks about that in his amazing book. Talks about trusting in God, trusting that God has you in his hands and that he is in control. Like Camilla was saying, he can do the impossible no matter what. Now in the stories, the people in the middle of the story, they didn't know how things were going to turn out. They didn't know that Jesus was going to bring people back to life. But they trusted. They decided to put their trust in God. Do the same. Bye.
The head that once was crowned with thorns is crowned with glory now. The Savior knelt to wash our feet. Now at his feet we bow. The one who wore our sin and shame, now robed in majesty, the radiance of perfect love now shines for all to see. Your name is victory. All praise will rise to Christ our King. Your name is victory. All praise will rise to Christ our King.